Hi, I'm Zinnia. I'm working on a horror retelling book for my little November nano whatever writing project. And you can tell from the horrible shadows under my eyes that it's after 11 p.m. I've got 6 minutes until my late night conversation class starts. Also an online ESL teacher, among other things. And I wanted to just drop in for a quick writing update because I'm really excited. I reached a point in my story that is like a turning point. So I have mentioned in a previous little vlog or update that I'm not using Save the Cat because it's not my bag. So I'm doing the a disturbance in two doorways. And so I've just reached the first doorway. So the disturbance happens in the first chapter of my book, like on the first page. We find out that the main character's boss is leaving the company, which kind of sets everything into motion in terms of like emotional turmoil, uncertainty, and like stress. So her reaction to this is to do some online shopping, which leads to the first doorway that is now happening at like about 15,000 words into the book. Um, and it's going to be like an 80,000 word novel, I think, 70 to 80. So we're coming in at like, I think the right point in the book to be really like, it kind of matches up with like an inciting incident. So I've reached that point. It's really exciting. Um I'm feeling a lot of momentum with my story right now. And the last time I checked in was Saturday, and I said I was going to write on Saturday. Well, I didn't write on Saturday because both of my kids, a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, they're both cutting some molars right now. So they are both really fussy and persnickety and just so Saturday didn't go so well, but I have written every day since then. Um, Quick update. On Sunday the 9th, I wrote 639 words. Monday the 10th, I wrote 1,876 words, which was a blockbuster sort of day for me. And then on the 11th, that was yesterday, I wrote 1,325 words, and today I wrote 787. And I mean, there's always a chance that after my class I could write a little bit more because I am really, like I said, I'm feeling some momentum. But also, if you're reading my face, like I could just go and pass out, which is probably the right call. Yeah, tonight's Wednesday night. I don't know if I said Wednesday night or Thursday night. I don't know if I even said. Did I say anything? Did I do any kind of intro? I can't even remember what happened 3 minutes ago. I am in no state to be teaching anyone anything, but this is my own schedule that I made for myself. But yeah, I'm gonna try and vlog tomorrow and maybe on Friday too. But I'm gonna go and like do what I have to do, and I'll check back in tomorrow. Bye. The last time I checked in, it was Wednesday night, I think, and now it's Friday afternoon. I've got about an hour before I need to pick my daughter up from school, so I'm gonna pop down to a cafe and try to get in a little writing session here. I have been making really good progress this week. Well, good progress for me. I think my youngest daughter got some vaccines today, this morning, so I know we're in for another rough night. It's been a series of rough nights, but somehow still, I think I managed to write about 5,000 words. Let me see, 5,262 words this week. So that's pretty good. That's since Sunday, and today's Friday. So I could still theoretically write a couple thousand more and be even closer to my November goal. I think I've talked a little bit about my project, but mostly I've just said, yeah, it's a horror retelling, but it's a novel. And I haven't gone a lot further than that. So I guess I've reached a point in the narrative where I feel comfortable saying that it's a monkey's paw retelling, which yeah, Monkey's Paw is a little bit dated. It's a little bit of I would say it's such a foundational text for horror that it's a little intimidating to approach it as a retelling, but I think I'm doing it in a different way than I've seen it done before, at least. That it's skewing very corporate horror, and I'm hoping that I'm adding in a lot of modernity to it, and I'm adding in an e-commerce flavor that is not present in other tellings. Monkey's Paw in this Three Wishes trope feels very Black Mirror to me, and I also have like there's the supernatural elements of it put it a little closer to fantasy than I've ever gotten in my own writing. I've done dystopian and I've done like psychological horror. My first book has a little supernatural element. This book though has a lot more. So I'm easing into that and kind of exploring that through the omniscient narrator mostly. And also I have like this cursed object, which is very fun. But I've been doing research into like metal alloys and precious stones and like the Bronze Age. I don't know. Like this all of this ties into sort of the lore of this book. So that's what I've kind of been doing this week, and I reached a point where I'm now in chapter 8 and I've killed someone on the page only, right? But that is kind of a signal that I'm really in the thick of this book, really in the meat of it now. And it's only going to get better and kind of worse from here. But I feel like my writing is flowing faster because I'm hitting a stride, sort of. So that's exciting. And I don't think that I will finish by the end of November. And I'm not putting any pressure on myself to do so since we're already the 14th of November. We're like halfway there. And I'm not anywhere close to halfway through this book. But I'm making some good progress and putting myself in a good place to finish at least by the end of the year. And then I have revisions on other manuscripts to work on. And I hope to come back to this one really soon. And in theory, I hope I'll be back querying a book, whichever one I feel like is ready to go out, and whichever one I feel is the strongest. I hope to be querying another book by, I don't know, late spring? Spring? That's crazy. No, I need to give myself more time. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. I shouldn't even be thinking about this. It's November. I shouldn't be thinking about querying. I should be thinking about drafting. I always get ahead of myself. Anyway, I'm just like blah, blah, blahing, and I should be packing up my stuff and getting down to the cafe. So, yeah, reconvene at the cafe in a few minutes. Bye. I guess I forgot to film an outro for this video, but I did manage to make some homemade tortillas. So enjoy tortilla footage, and I'll catch up with you next week. Bye.